Part 2 in the Airgun content series. This is the Beeman Webley Vulcan. I call this Spock because it's a Vulcan. The Beeman Webley Vulcan is your classic spring piston air rifle. Not a whole lot of fancy schmancy going on. This one is the last of the air guns that I bought used, second and last. I don't like to buy used guns at all. I make some exceptions, but for this one, the price was right. I got this from a friend of mine who got this from a friend of his. I'm guessing this thing was made late 70s, early 80s. I don't know that the Vulcan series is still in production. I don't think it is. I got this in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember what I paid for it. I remember it was ridiculously cheap and he just wanted to get rid of it. And really nice. And it's nice. Spring piston, the brake barrel. It actually does employ a spring and a piston. This is not a gas piston. It is a breaker. It's got a neat looking setup there for the pellet. And it does have sights adjustable for windage and elevation. It's got a front hooded sight that has, I'm going to point at the camera for a second, the front post. And it does not sport a replaceable insert for the front sight. This one is in a 22. This part here, this Picatinny rail, was not a part of the original purchase. I added this later. It's a nice little shooter. I used to use this for rats, pigeons, targets, cans, plastics, all kinds of things. It's very simple. Like I said, it's very simple to operate. You break the barrel, you pull all the way down, load a pellet, you close it up, bang, bang. Very simple to break this and cock it. I'm going to say it probably requires 25 to 30 pounds or less of cocking force. It doesn't really require a lot. I don't have any specs on this thing as far as feet per second or foot pounds. I don't really care about that stuff. All I need to know is that it hits what I aim it at, and if it's something that I want to make dead, it makes it dead. It also has a safety that is not ambidextrous. It's a right-handed safety. I'm going to break the barrel again, and I'm actually going to cock it this time. The safety does not set automatically. It's manual safety, and you can decock by depressing the trigger and easing the barrel up rather than dry firing, which I got skinned alive for in the last video for actually dry firing the one pistol that I had. So there you go. I'm not dry firing a spring piston, folks. You can chill now. You can actually see here when I removed the tactical rail that I put on there, the marking Webley Vulcan. In the paperwork, it says Beeman Webley. You know, with companies changing hands and acquiring and who gets what, you never know. You never know who has what. But it's marked Webley Vulcan. But the paperwork that came with it suggests Beeman Webley. I guess at one point they were one company. I don't know the history of all these companies and what they do. But that's the markings right there. And then I showed you the other markings earlier. And right there, it says Beeman. So, I don't know. Somewhere in there, it'll probably, somewhere there's a number that'll tell you what year it was made. I mean, on here, you can see the address in San Rafael, California. And if you look up on the top receiver, there's another. This one says Webley and Scott, Birmingham, England. Birmingham. So there's that. And what does that say? Oh, that's the caliber 22. Yeah, nothing on here that tells me what year this was made, but again, I know when I bought it, and I know when the gentleman who sold it to me said he got it. Let's take it to the indoor real quickly in the other room, and I'll show you some stuff. If you're wondering about that pellet trap that's there, it's a simple tote with lid thing that I lined with duct seal. So there's probably 9 or so. Well, actually, I think I used all 11, but I used 9 or 10 to line the bottom of the trap with duct seal, which is like ballistic clay, and you just kind of stack them. They're bricks. You put them in. And then I used the other few blocks that I bought. I broke one up and stuffed it in the holes that were left, and then I took the last 2 and flattened them out in the center of the mass of duct seal, so that it would just beef up the center just a little bit. Then I got this piece of cardboard, which is replaceable, and put that in. I also took an old bathroom rug, folded it in half, one of those, you know, easy whatever rugs, put it in front of the duct seal. Got a piece of cardboard cut to fit. That should last quite a few targets, and that's very replaceable. It's portable. You put the lid on it, you take it wherever you want to go. It weighs probably as much as all the duct seal put together and the weight of the backstop. So if you want to see the inside, because I know people will ask, why didn't you take out the rug so we could see the inside? Because I don't like you. No, there you go. Duct seal pressed in there. Quack, quack. You can see the centerpiece being a little thicker than the rest. Rug folded in half. Just as in, I probably don't need the rug, but just as an additional slowdown for the pellets, especially when I start using like the PCPs and the heavier springers or the heavier brake barrels, some of them being gas piston. Something else that I figured out about this particular style of box, and this is the 7-gallon version again, is that these cutouts here can actually be useful for plinking. If you take, on this one, on the 7-gallon, you take a piece of cardboard, that's 11 inches inside measure from side to side, and you go maybe 10 3/4 inches on a piece of cardboard, you just drop it right in there, and you have yourself a little plinking shelf for your, oh, I don't know, your toy zebra or your Liger or whatever. Or you can put your little cans up there, soda cans, or and there's several of these little spaces where you could put a shelf. I mean, you don't need to go more than cardboard unless you want to go with a piece of paneling or something, make it a little more permanent. But I mean, how cheap is cardboard to replace? That's a fun hack. I'm going to start on the center target. Much better group. I actually should have called this one because I knew that one was going to be off to the right. I don't know what this is over here. Oh, I think one of my shots, I accidentally went for the one in the corner here, now that I'm noticing, because it was a brand new target. I came off the center when I went up there. Little rambunctious, little rambunctious. I should also mention that the trigger is a single stage trigger. There's no travel, and the let off on this one, and I don't think it's adjustable, is probably 3.5 to 4 pounds, which is kind of heavy for most people's taste, especially for a springer, where you've got to compensate a lot for that piston slamming home when you fire the shot. I don't know, people say that springers are tougher to shoot because of that added recoil from all that movement that's going on inside the breech. I don't know. I haven't had enough PCP time to notice a difference. All in all, for as old as it is, like I said, I'm guessing mid 80s ish. It's a pretty good shooter. It should have a lot more problem. I mean, it should have some problems by now, you would think. I don't know. I hear seals dry out and all this other thing, and I haven't had that problem, although I do tend to keep my things oiled and ready to go. I'll also tell you that the stock on that Vulcan is very solid. It's a very good stock. I'm guessing it's beech. Again, it being used, I have no idea. Somewhere around here, I do have the paperwork. I just don't know where it is, and I'm not interested in looking for it. If you're wondering why I didn't do all that science-y stuff, you know, the chronie and all that other stuff, it's because I'm not going to run out and spend money on a chronograph to find out something that really is immaterial to anything. Why do I have a Soviet flag hanging in the background? Long story. It was a gift. Collusion. If you have any other questions about the Beeman Webley Vulcan, at least mine, I can't really speak for all of them, or if you have one and you have any other experiences with it, just leave a comment down there. But there you have it, Spock, the Beeman Webley Vulcan.